Here we go, people. Match preview time. Man City versus Leeds United. Let's get straight into it. Before we get into it, like the video, of course. You know the drill, people. Likes help the channel out. It's free to do and helps with visibility. Thank you to Prosa, Phil, Mr. P for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And yeah, I feel like everyone's feeling the way I feel about this one. Yeah, we're gonna get through this like Daniel Bedingfield. Let's get through it. Annabelle saying here, hey KG, I'm going to this one. Well, nice. And I think the only saving grace will be the nice food and drinks I'll get in hospitality. Tremendous. Hyru here saying here, I got an Uber ride from a Chelsea fan here in the States earlier this week. I told him I'm a Leeds fan. He brought up Gruev. First thought in my mind is he shouldn't be here. Well, I mean, Gruev is one, but he's the least of our worries when it comes to people that shouldn't be here. Although going with Daniel Farke's request of, or saying in the press conference this week about PSR issues, Gruev was 5 million. Gruev is definitely better than Kamara, and look what we got for Kamara. We could have easily, I think, doubled our money for Gruev if we sold him where he probably should be, and that's Germany or Holland. But we didn't because Farke likes him. He kept hold of him. Don't want to hear no complaints. That's the way I'm looking at it right now, people. So, yeah, we're going to do this preview, and obviously we'll do our lineup predictions. I've got two. It is what it is. I got two that you could possibly go with, and then we'll do score predictions, of course. Rich here saying, I'm watching my walls paint dry. Could be more exciting. Julian here saying, Tanaka thumbnail of Leeds training video, Leeds PR in full flow. Yeah. Well, look, man, you know what? Tanaka, I completely forgot about him. I completely forgot about Tanaka in my lineups. That's crazy. That's crazy that I even did that. But you know what? I'll fix it in a bit. Fix it in a bit. But look, obviously we know this is going to be a tough game. I think that goes without saying. Farke from the press conference yesterday, I said what I said yesterday in the presser reaction. I'm still going to do them, people. Don't worry about it. It's just, it's 40 minutes of pretty much rinse and repeat, same things over and over again. And now, the only thing now is he doesn't have the point per game thing. He doesn't have the stats going in his way in many of the games now. So it's becoming like an excuse fest, and it's really hard to listen to. But you can tell the man is on his last legs. Things like this, in terms of what he was saying yesterday, 17th would be a great success. Data gives me a lot of confidence. We're on top. We're in the top 2 for physical output. I mean, honestly, I said it in yesterday's video, but that literally sounds like Bielsa and Jesse Marsh when it comes to our players running around like headless chickens. It doesn't mean anything, unless you got points to back it up. But of course, the other thing that really stood out was the against Newcastle, Fulham, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Burnley, Villa. Data shows we were the better side. I don't care what data says. We were not the better side in a lot of those games. The Villa game was literally us waiting in the second half to see how many they were going to score. Burnley, we were nowhere near it. Bournemouth, we sat back with like 25 minutes to go, and it could have been, if there was another 5 minutes on that Bournemouth game, they may have scored again. West Ham being the same. It's not mentioned in this one because we won the game. But if there was another few minutes on the West Ham game, the way we were defending, West Ham would have probably scored again. All this data stuff, what he keeps on relying on, it's ridiculous now. Yeah, underlying metrics, hype, man. It's ridiculous. Deluded, desperate, I would say as well. He's got to believe in something, but at the same time, with all that, with saying all that though, he literally keeps saying that this team isn't good enough individually. And again, I appreciated it when he first said it because it's honest, and you can say it one time and then galvanize the players and say, look, everything needs to work. And he has said that before, as I have said, but he keeps on saying it now. And I'm thinking, if I'm a player in that dressing room and Farke again comes out with individual, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Individually, these players aren't good enough. I'm thinking, what's this guy doing here? Why is he saying all this stuff? But that's where we are. That's where he is. And I think he pretty much knows that the writing's on the wall, I think. What's going on, Ryan? Big up the channel. Hope you're well. But I'm good, man. I'm really good. Had a nice day. And yeah, we're going to get into this, right? We're going to get in this one. Jack here saying we should have more output. We're chasing most games. Yeah, that's another thing that he didn't mention. But again, this is context involved with the statements that he says. We may be running a lot, but that comes in the early parts of the game. By the 70th minute, we don't look anywhere near it. So he can say that we're doing all this running and everything else, but by the time we get to the second half, we're cooked. Like we are literally cooked. So it's one of those where again context is needed when Danny Farker speaks because he doesn't always provide it, and that's fair enough because it goes in his favor. Ali here saying thanks for watching the press conferences, so we don't have to. No problem, man. I'll be there again. I'll be there again, of course. But you know, we are up against third place Man City. It doesn't matter where Man City are in the table, in all honesty. Oh, by the way, that's something that's been funny today. Been hearing about Liverpool's crisis, and obviously because they're on a bad run. Their next three games are West Ham, Sunderland, and Leeds. And every single person that keeps mentioning those three games keeps saying, well, West Ham and Sunderland, those will be tricky. Leeds, they'll win that one. And it's like, wow, damn, we just chopped liver. But they're not wrong. Even though, as I always say, it stings a little more when they're not Leeds fans saying it, but you can't really deny it, can you? But when they're saying West Ham under Nuno with their improvements and Sunderland being Sunderland, and then it's just Leeds, it's like, damn, that one stings still. Burnley versus City. Burnley put up a really good counter attacking show versus City. They really threatened the bar with the finishing. We should be able to also. I mean, that almost sounds. I mean, Burnley are more of our level if we're being real, but it almost sounds like Farke with the Leverkusen example when we have got players nowhere near Leverkusen. But also as well, what I would say in resistance to this is that we don't look like we have any kind of pattern like Burnley do. So they're going to have to show us something different tomorrow. They're gonna have to show us difference. And in terms of Man City, they did lose their last game, 2-0 to Leverkusen, as said, but they made so many changes for this game. And it's funny, something else Danny Farke said previously is that he prefers to play a team when they've won, because when they've lost, they usually, turn over every stone. Well, with all the losses we've had, we'd be turning stones like a motherfucker, innit? Like we should be turning them constantly because we keep on losing. But he's right in a sense, but Man City's team won't look like this. There's a few players that will probably be in there, maybe Reinders, maybe Rico Lewis, maybe Oscar Bob, but a majority of their starters will be on the bench. And that is, of course, Haaland, who came in on with 20-ish minutes to go, Shirky, Doku, O'Reilly, Phil Foden, probably Diaz as well, maybe Bernardo Silva, but Guardiola, Donnarumma, and Nunes probably at right back. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what we got, people? Yeah, everyone triple captain Haaland says a lot too. Yeah, I don't blame you. I already used my triple captainship on Haaland against somebody else, and I did get a return. Probably not the same return that he might get tomorrow. Okay. Ben here saying there are ways to get something from City. I agree, but I just don't think Farke is capable of doing it. Yeah, I don't think he's capable either, but I also think this team isn't capable. And again, I'd love to be wrong. As I always say, I'd love to be wrong, but there's nothing with the evidence that I've seen against teams that we've played less than Man City that makes me think we've got any chance against this lot. I think with them baying for blood after losing in midweek, and they will respond. Man City rarely lose two in a row. They had a sticky patch last year, or maybe it was the year before, but generally, Guardiola does not lose two in a row. And yeah, it's going to be a long one, people. It's going to be a long one. Look, Johnny went to religious things to try and help us. Going church last week didn't help. This week he's going to visit the Pope. That's tremendous. I think it's the first time we see five at the back. Yeah, I gotta fix something. I've got to fix something because let me just fix something because I don't know how or why I did, but I completely forgot about Tanaka. And shame on me. Shame on me. That's usually the guy that I'm always, pulling for. And I forgot about him. Well, I fixed that now. So look, Man City's like an all-star team. Yeah. Look, okay. These are two lineups that I've got. All right. And I'm sure when you look at them, you'll probably think, who cares? What does it matter? But this is what I've got. This is if we go with the regular 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Perry keeps his place. Goodmanson, Bjorn, Rodon, Bogle. Reason why I put Bjorn in that spot is just because, listen, Haaland will outpace any one of our centre backs. Doesn't matter who's playing. But I'm thinking when there's more physical tussle, I'd prefer Biol to be in there than Pascal, who's a little bit more passive, in my opinion. The three in midfield, hello Tanaka, is Gruev, Ampadu, and Tanaka, because I think we're going to go with two sitters to try and at least, soak up some of the pressure that we're going to be under. And Tanaka can be the one that can break forward if necessary, if he's allowed to, if he gets a yellow card, and, we'll see. But this would be my three midfield. I don't know if you guys disagree or not. As I say, put it in the comments. And these are my three up front. And this is nothing against Okafor. I got to make that clear. But I'm just thinking with Nonto, you get a threat on that left-hand side anyway, but you also get him coming back more, which I think we'll need in this game. Now, that's not applicable to all games. I don't think Okafor needs to come back for every game. But Man City, we're going to need all hands on deck. All right. And in this system, I've got James on the right. And of course, Metcha up front. And Metcha, I say all the time, storylines, he's against the team that he was in the academy with. We got to hang on for any hope, people. Yeah, he won't change his lineup. I know. Well, this is the one with the 5. Okay. Okay. So now I've got Strauchin, Biol, Roden at the back. All hands on deck, people. I got Goodmanson and Bogle as our wing backs that can be the outlets for the attack. Gurev, Ampadu, Tanaka in the middle. And up front, again, I've got Metcha and Nonto. So this one goes without Daniel James, but again, Nonto can help coming back. So I don't know if that helps anybody. I don't know if that makes you feel any better. Have you got anything different? As I say, put it in the comments. But either way, people, I'm going to be real with you. I only have one score in mind, and I can't shake it. Again, it's one of those where I really hope I'm wrong, because otherwise tomorrow is going to be a really tough watch, and it's going to feel like it's going to be longer than 90 minutes. Okay. Okay, so let's go for our score predictions. Okay. Oh, man. And I feel bad for saying this, but I think Man City are going to put 5 on us like the loonies. I think it's going to be 5-0. Okay. And with that as well, you never know. Farke might just say, well, one time Leeds lost 7-0, so it's an improvement. Imagine that if we lose 5-0 and he says it's an improvement on 7-0. You wouldn't put it past him, would you? So what are we saying, people? Andy here going 3-0, 1-0 at halftime. Man said 10-0, All right, man. 4-0, 5-0 for Annabelle, 5-0. I don't like it, but I triple captain Haaland. Do what you got to do for FPL, my man. Do what you got to do. I think my partner's going to do that as well. Shame on her. 6-0 to City. Johnny going 4-0. 6-0 City. SB going 6-0 also. So, hey, I thought I was being, I thought people wouldn't go higher than mine, but I was definitely wrong. Hey, here we go. 1-0 to Leeds. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a goal scorer, Jez. Give me a goal scorer. Oh man. Ryan said a draw. Chris is going for a 1-1 draw. Imagine that. Chris Kingy going for a 1-1 draw. Wow. Oh, I know what it is, Chris. I got you. I think I know why Chris is going for a draw. It's because he thinks that a positive result will keep Farke in the job for another 3 months. Am I right, Chris? Is that what it is? 3-0. Haaland, show us some mercy by missing a few on purpose. Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. He's on fire. He's literally he's taken his game to a different level this year, and I think we're gonna suffer from it tomorrow. I do. But like Ian says, I want you to prove me wrong. Please. That's all I ask. But I just try and look at different ways that we can hurt Man City with this kind of team. I don't see it, people. So especially when you've seen from the evidence what we've seen in the past few games, I don't see what we can do against a ball hugging Man City team that can cut you open with an incisive pass, that can get round you, and can have Haaland just bully through your 2 centre backs anyway. I don't know how we're going to stop them. Plus, we got to solve Donnarumma in goal. I don't see it, but that's the beauty of football. It's not played on paper or in your mind. They've got to go out there. Unfortunately, right. Slinky here going, can I say 9-0 City with Haaland 5 goals? You sure can, man. You sure can. What is an unacceptable loss? We are still a Prem team. Oh, Chris, there we are. You got me. I thought so, Chris. I thought so. An unacceptable loss is if the players just look like they haven't turned up, and look, I know that we can get beat heavily. We did against Arsenal, in terms of that against those better teams. But there's too many losses that have been unacceptable for me. A heavy loss tomorrow is more acceptable than the losses that we've had against Burnley and against Forest. I think those have been unacceptable in the way that those teams were. And I even go to Brighton. As good as Brighton are, they weren't that good when we played them. They were in indifferent form, and we made them look like they had been on a 5-game hot streak. That's unacceptable for me. So look, we'll see what kind of effort we go in there. And yeah, and listen, it's not loser talk, but there are ways to lose games. Absolutely. If we come out of here with a 2-1 loss, I think the team would have done very well. I mean, obviously, we'll see how the game state goes and everything else like that. But I think that would be, pretty good. But a positive result would be a draw and a win, obviously, of course, of course. Um, Ryan here. What annoys me is a championship team put up more of a fight tomorrow than we will. Yeah. I mean, look, we know we need all of our best players to be playing to have a chance anyway. We've got far too many out, especially in terms of like a stack in midfield. Yeah, we're probably cooked. We're probably cooked. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've got. That's all I've got for you. That's all I've got. Farke will take off our best players if we're winning. Well, look, I'll ask you this as we come to an end. Does anybody think that? And by the way, guys, I need to say I saw the rumors about Big Ange. I need to make it clear. I want Farke out. I want him gone. But there's no point going from Farke to Big Ange. What are we doing here? If we was to go for Big Ange, think about what Big Ange had with Tottenham, and he had, Romero van de Ven. Think about what he had with Forest and Murillo and Milinkovic. And look what happened to those teams. Imagine what will happen if he comes here. Ange is way worse. That's what I'm saying. If you're putting a gun to my head right now and you say you keep Farke or you get Big Ange, I'm saying keep Farke, but that shouldn't be our only option. We should be looking elsewhere. Big Ange does not work in the Premier League. He's too stubborn. I've already called him Bielsa light previously. We don't need that again, people. We don't need someone that's just going to lead us wide open at the back and just hope for the best. He doesn't even concentrate on set pieces. No, we don't need that one, people. We don't need that one. It's so to say it's scary is mad. And look, the thing is with Big Ange, he always says he wins something in the second season. That would mean he'd probably be winning the championship next year. But I don't want it to come to that. I don't want him at the club. This is like the thing. Well, you want him out, you can't complain who comes in next. Yes, you can. It's like if you send your dinner back at a restaurant and they still bring it back undercooked or cold. You can't just go. You don't just say, "Well, I'm just going to keep it because I complained once." So you say, "Actually, no." Now you risk getting a pubic hair in it the third time, but we're not going to get pubic hairs in this one. We're just going to get a bad manager who's going to ship goals for fun with this team. But yeah, yeah, he did win the Europa League, and salute to him for that. But his league form, we ain't in no Europa League. We are not in that. Who is your ideal replacement? My ideal replacement is the one that I wanted in the summer, and that's Thiago Motta. And with an outside chance of Cesc Fabregas, but that's not happening, is it? We should have got Motta in the summer. I've said I'm not going to repeat myself again, but Fabregas wasn't even leaving for I think one of the Red Bull clubs, so we had no chance of getting Cesc. But Cesc is a lovely coach. That's what you're talking about, a progressive coach, and he gets the very best out of his players. In fact, he gets more out of the players. He's been brilliant, says Fabregas. But yeah, Thiago Motta would have been my man, but I don't see him coming in with this set of players. I just don't. I just don't. Matt, are you talking about? Is that the crowdless stadiums? I don't count that football. If you talk about that, Matt, when the crowds came back, we lost 7-0. I listen. Salute to you if you still count that COVID season. I just don't. That's just me. I'm not saying that you have to think the same. I just don't count. I don't think it was real football. There was just too many variables that made it comfortable, especially for a lot of our players at the time that crumble under the pressure of the crowd. And it was telling when the crowds came back. Yeah, he's not coming either. That's what I mean. There's too many candidates where with this team that we've got now, they're not coming to this team. And again, I saw Sean Dyche yesterday do his stuff with Forest. And with this team, again, I've got to say, Sean Dyche is not my number one target, but I'm saying with this team, with the way it's made up, I think he would have done something better with this squad of players, but obviously he's unavailable now. So yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's all I got for you for this preview. Look, I've got the match reaction video up, and we'll talk about the result tomorrow, come rain or shine. So like that video and set a reminder for it as well, so you can join me live after the game, and we'll speak about what's happened. Hope maybe it will be a shocker. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it will be a shocker. Let me just close the poll. Prediction: Man City win 79%, draw 8%, Leeds United win 13%. So there you go, people. Overly overwhelming in Man City's favor. But like I say, if you can think of anything better with the lineups, put it in the comments, and of course, put your score predictions in there as well, people. But listen, enjoy the rest of your Friday, people. See you tomorrow after the game. Peace out.